Looked at purely from the perspective of the customer success manager, new contracts from new customers, often referred to as net new business or even just net new, is not directly relevant to them, since it is not directly impacted by their customer success activities. Note, however, that I've deliberately said not directly impacted, since there may be one or two ways in which customer success activities do impact this net new business, and we'll look at them in a moment. I want us to turn our attention back to the non-as-a-service discussion we had earlier. Remember that even if products and services are not being sold on a renewable contract basis, customer success management is still potentially relevant, especially where the company desires to sell the same or similar products to an existing customer multiple times. For example, this might include consumable products such as office equipment, janitorial supplies, uniforms, or even something like energy, which may be supplied as a service on a contract or may be provided on a pay-as-you-use basis. It might also include raw materials and pre-manufactured parts used in manufacturing or assembly processes. In all of these cases, it is likely that the supplying company will be keen to continue supplying their products and services and are anticipating that customers will continue to make regular purchases, even though there is no contract in place. The concept of renewal and churn rates and renewal levels even works for larger capital expenditure type items. For example, heavy machinery used in manufacturing processes or industrial plant used for air conditioning factories and offices. Again, companies that sell this equipment will aspire not just to sell their products once to each customer, but to sell the same product many times to each customer over the entire lifetime of the relationship with that customer. This could be simply to replace worn out or antiquated equipment with newer, more efficient or more highly specified models, or it could be due to the customer's growth in business that causes a demand for additional products. For example, where a customer expands their business and opens up a new production line in their manufacturing facility. Finally, it also applies to the B2C or business to consumer world. Aside from the obvious examples of renewable contracts such as those for insurances of all kinds and for energy, water, home and mobile phones and internet connectivity, many other businesses want us as individual consumers to repeat our purchases by coming back to them rather than going to a competitor. Think, for example, how supermarkets might reward returning customers through loyalty cards, the outcome for customers being reduced costs for their food, or might try to add further value by providing additional information, such as recipes for cooking healthy and attractive meals, alongside supplying all the ingredients in a handy way, all on the same shelf, for example. The outcome for the customers being their ability to prepare and enjoy a wider variety of healthy and enjoyable meals. A friend of mine's wife owns and runs a successful dentistry in her local town. When she purchased the business, it was not doing very well financially, even though it offered a perfectly adequate service. It was one of several dentistry establishments in the area, and it did not offer anything unique or different that would particularly attract customers back to use that particular dentist over any other dentist. By conducting research into what customers really want as an outcome from their visits to the dentist, and by making subtle but important changes to help customers attain those outcomes, my friend's wife transformed the company from barely surviving into becoming a thriving and profitable business that was growing at such a pace that she needed to take on further premises and further staff to fulfill her customers' needs. The difference was simple. Customers always came back to use her services again because they got the outcomes they needed. But before she could transform her business, she had to understand what her customers' outcome requirements are from visiting their dentist. One simple rule for customer success management, therefore, is this. CSMs must make sure they fully understand their customers' goals first. Once a customer's outcome requirements are explicitly defined, the CSM is then in a position to start thinking about how to help that customer attain those outcomes. It's the same concept as in a game such as soccer. You cannot score a goal, or let's say it's significantly harder to do so, if you don't know where the goal is or what it looks like.